Good evening and welcome to my gold and silver analysis. I'm JR. Thank you for joining me. Today will be the first analysis for the year 2018. It is June 15th. It is approximately 8:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll do a quick analysis on the precious metals market as well as some of the cryptos. We'll also look into the US dollar, which I think it's in a lot of trouble. Okay, we'll start off with gold. We'll just do two time frames. We'll do the weekly as well as the daily. I've said it before on the weekly and on the monthly time frames. The market is looking very good. Gold ended up 14% up for the year for 2017. I expect the same. I expect a big move to the upside, maybe 10, 15, 20%. It doesn't matter how much, but I definitely do expect the market to continue its upward trajectory. We've gone over the fact that I believe that the higher time frames are signaling the start of the bull trend. It looks like that's the correct analysis. We have a low here, we have a higher low, we have a higher low as well as a higher low right over here, just right here. Okay, so a series of higher lows, and we are yet to create the higher highs, right? We would like to see a move above 1367. On my last analysis, I did mention that the move that I'm looking to do, if you're looking at the Elliott waves, you do something like this, and the next move should be the move to continue to go to the upside. Now, this should be the low. It could do something like this, but ultimately it does seem like the market has found a bottom in this area here, and so long as we don't break below 1237 or 1200, the market technically should be sound, because if this is technically the low, then we're looking for the high to be somewhere around here at around 1500. So I do believe that 1400 will be an easy target for the precious metals for gold this year. And I also believe that 1500 would be the high for 2018. If I look at the daily time frame, just really a huge move here on gold market here. This is when they raised interest rates. You would think that gold would go down with a rate hike, with a stronger dollar, but that's not the case at all. We actually have seen a really weak dollar. I'll do an analysis on the US dollar here in just a few seconds. So again, maybe a good time to take some profits if you have bought some gold here down here at these levels. Once we go above 1375, then you can take that momentum and take much higher. Again, I think we'll see 1450 easily. I think 1500 will be a challenge, but I definitely think it's definitely plausible for us to hit 1500. In this year. I'll do a quick monthly chart on gold. So this is the monthly chart. We'll see here that back in 1979, we hit high of 849. And this is a pattern that I need you guys to remember. This pattern where you have a high and then the market just shoots above that high. It's a very common long-term pattern. For example, we see this exact same pattern here in 1979. We saw a high of 850, and once we surpassed that 850, the market just continued to go up. I'm expecting the same thing here. Once we surpassed 1900, I expect all these. You see how this gets smaller as I scroll down, right? So, for example, this look at the size of this, and then as the market goes higher, this shrinks here. This is exactly what I'm expecting, just like this shrunk here. I'm expecting this to shrink. Maybe something like this. Maybe something like this. Well, we'll see gold target anywhere between 4,200 to 5,200 within the next probably 2 to 3 years. My target for gold in the next 2 to 5 years is easily 4,000, most likely surpassing 4,000. Let's look at the silver market. Okay, so this is the silver market here. Silver market, again, same thing as gold. Once you see these levels once you see these highs, once you see this high, so for example, right here, once you see that break, the market just shoots much higher. Now, what I don't have here is that in $48.79, silver hit a peak of $49 also. So the market really did something like this. So same thing with silver. As you can see, silver's really broken every downtrend that we've had here within the last few years, since 2012, since we saw that peak of $48. Really, every single downtrend we broke. We broke this one. We broke this one. It doesn't matter if I do this; it's gonna break it because again, silver is. If you ask me, silver and gold have begun their ascend. Right. So from here, I do expect silver to come back to this level here. Once we surpass $49, this will shrink. This will do something like this, and I know it sounds silly now, but silver will hit $150 to $100 to $200 within the next 3 to 5 years. I'm very confident of that because again, these charts don't lie because they can't talk. So silver also looking very nice. As far as the shorter term, silver, unlike gold, which is a little bit more bullish if you ask me, silver does need to go above this 1750 range and definitely above the $18 and a quarter. I think once we surpass this 18 and a quarter, we'll be good to start getting a little bit more aggressive and taking this thing up higher. But as of now, this is a good, I like this level here. As a matter of fact, we just added on some of those positions because again, on a smaller time frame, you see you see the formation again. Once you establish a resistance, you come down and you break that resistance, then usually what you want to see is a move like this, continuing to go higher. So I'm expecting silver to test at least the 1850 to 18 and a quarter. Above 18 and a quarter is going to be very, very bullish here for silver. So again, all the gold and silver market are both looking very nice. This is the platinum market. I like the platinum. Platinum has been one of my favorites. Just simply because of the gold to platinum ratios. I was able to get into this rally here nice and early, and since then, platinum has done nothing but break levels of resistance. So we got a little bit of a scare here. Okay, we had a really nice established level of support, and that support broke. The market actually closed below this level, which was very bearish. What ended up happening was that platinum could not sustain this. The bears could not sustain this bear rally, and once we broke above this trend line, the market just continued to go up. I suspect that this platinum market is going to test this level here. Who knows? It might come down over here before continuing to go higher, but I think platinum, just like gold and silver, have found it's ready to make its bull run. But as far as platinum and gold is concerned, which is this chart over here, this is a long-term chart here. This is a weekly chart. As you can see, a huge squeeze, a huge wedge, and this wedge technically should do something like this. If I go to the smaller time frames, the daily time frames, we can see that one of the wedges, there's wedges within these wedges. I mean, really nice formation. As you can see, again, broke below this level here. Anytime you have a level break and the market doesn't continue to go down, technically we should have seen this. The market continued to go down, but now that we've broke above this level here, this is basically how many ounces of gold you can buy with 1 ounce of platinum. So currently right now, about 3/4 of an ounce of gold you can buy with an ounce of platinum. That's not, the ratios are usually above 1.5 to 2. So again, I do expect platinum to outperform gold easy for the year 2018 and 2019, possibly even further than that. Later than that, right? Let's see what else we have. We have the palladium market. The palladium market is also looking a beautiful market. Broke above this level of resistance here. Broke above this level of resistance. You can see here that once it broke above this here, the market continued to go up higher. You had a false breakdown, which technically the market should have continued to go down below this level here. That's not the case. We broke resistance over here, and since then, Palladium has taken off. I mean, right now it's trading in at 11.25. Now, Palladium is also usually less expensive than platinum, usually by at least two. The Palladium market is just taking off because of the automobile sector, supposedly, right? Uh, but again, Palladium looking beautiful. I don't have the data here, but back in the 90s, Palladium hit a high of 1050. So here we are at 1125, just kind of like the silver market here, where you have a high in 1979 of 50, a high in 2012 of 50. Above that 50 is very bullish. Same thing with Palladium. Above 1050 is extremely bullish. I suspect the Palladium market is going to continue to rally here for a little bit longer, probably hitting 1300 before really coming back and maybe testing this trend line here on 1000 or maybe even 950. Okay, let's go to the next chart here. I'm going through these charts here kind of fast. The Bitcoin chart. I've been an advocate of Bitcoin since it came out. Bitcoin maybe stretched up a little too high at around 20,000, a bit too fast. You can see the same formation that I've been talking about right here. We saw 1130, and since then it just took off, never came back, testing $19,000. Okay, on the weekly chart, it really just looks like Bitcoin is just going through a correction through time. I don't think the rally's over anytime soon. I think the market will at least try to test the $25,000 to $30,000 level before we take maybe a 2 or 3 year break, and just trade sideways before the next leg up. I do expect Bitcoin to hit 50, 60,000 within the next 10 to 15 years, maybe even 100,000. I don't think it'll go too much further than that. At least not anytime soon. We really have to start utilizing Bitcoin a lot more than it's being used right now before I can see those 100,000 plus numbers. But very, very reasonable for this thing to hit 25, 35,000, 40,000 within the next 3 to 5 years. Which one's next? We'll look at the US dollar. The US dollar, the only thing now, my last analysis, I made very clear that the US dollar is in a very nasty, I think it was roughly around here, very, very nasty broadening formation. The broadening formations are very bearish. And I think roughly around here, I predicted that this is going to retest this trend line here, because again, the highs are getting higher, the lows are getting lower. And usually what you have is a situation where you come here, you come back up here, and you come down. Now, we could see a little bit of a move back up and then continue to go down, but I do expect this broadening formation to target roughly this area. I would say minimum this area here on 84, and target is technically 78, and much lower. But yeah, this could be very, very, very bad for the U.S. dollar. Actually, not could be. This is really bad. This is an obvious broadening formation, and anyone going long on the U.S. dollar is not paying attention to this chart. Okay. The only thing this chart has going for itself, and that's in the near future. This weekend we woke up here with a gap. So this morning, so on Sunday evening when the market opened, there was a giant gap. So price on Friday closed at 91.87 and it reopened at 90.90. So really $1 below, 1 full point below its closing. I've said it before. I've said it before that gaps are usually filled. I would hesitate to say always, but for the most part, a big percentage of gaps are usually filled. But that's really the only thing the U.S. dollar has going for itself. Just a really nasty chart, and yeah, not good whatsoever. I do expect to move back over here, have the market continue to create its lower lows as well as its lower highs. Excuse me. In last analysis is the Dow Jones, right? The Dow Jones really on a rampage right now. The monthly chart suggests that it's really oversold if you ask me. But who knows? I mean, we really have extended already. Let's see this move. which is really what I was targeting, I really have to say that I never expected the Dow Jones to go this high, 25,600. If you have your 401ks, your IRAs, now would probably be a good time to start taking some profits. I can't imagine this market is going to continue to go up too far above this target. My target here on this chart is roughly around 27,000, just under 27. Doesn't mean we can't hit 28 or maybe even 29. I'd be very surprised if it hits 30, but then again, this is a crazy market, and if the dollar is going to tank, you might as well put your money somewhere else where it's going to be a better store of value, right? So maybe the stock market will be the answer. Ripple, my last recommendation, here it is back here, all right? I told some of you folks here to buy Ripple at around the 13-cent range, the 15-cent range, the 18-cent range, and the second this broke above this giant triangle here, I made another recommendation to buy. Big breakout back here. All right, this was December 12th, 2017. I noted here buy, and this is what ended up happening. Right, the market just took off from 20 cents all the way up to 350. 330 was the high. Currently trading at 155. Let's look at that formation again. Remember what I said about these formations. Once you have a set high and you retest that high and you break above that high, you usually have a huge move following. So I am expecting the moves to continue. Obviously, the market is taking a little bit of a break, maybe a much needed break. Who knows? Maybe they'll come back down and test the 74-cent area. I hope it doesn't. And I am expecting this thing to continue to go higher to the $6, $7, $8 range by the year 2018. I definitely do expect to test at least the $5, $6 area. I think those are good targets for Ripple. We'll see what happens. Good luck to all. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.